we are recording. I forgot to mention. We're doing some drags. Letting Perk test this. I gotta reply to this. Let him get some gap. This thing shifts a lot. You got a 10 speed in here, I imagine? Woohoo! God, this thing's got power. Wait, I'm coming, as though we're going to stop drag racing to wait for you to arrive. My bad. This thing is fast. Nope, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to apply. That thing is fucking quick. A little delay on my handbrake. Ooh. There's that 3-3. God damn it. Can we go into neutral, please? Thank you. Shit. Give me my medium graphics back. Dude's chill, will accept. I don't know if Chucky knows brake boosting or not. I hope Chucky knows brake boosting. Not that the car can't do well without it, it's just that he'd have a really good launch if he does brake boost. I don't want to call him out like that if he doesn't. I see how he's doing it, I see. It sounded like he was brake boosting, but at the same time it also sounded like, it sounded like he was, it sounded like he neutral dropped. So it sounded like he just dumped clutch. He could have been brake boosting, but it sounded like he just dropped clutch. We'll have to teach him later. God, the lag is fucking horrible. It's not even this bad when you're actually in Nürburgring server. I said perk test drive. I didn't say perk test drive. Who the fuck do you think you are that you think you get to drive my car? Flat-foot shifting. No, I missed third. Damn it. The lag spike didn't help either. Get the fuck out. And second. Fuck. What the fuck? Holy shit. How many shifts is it going to fucking miss? Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Jesus fuck, the lag is horrendous. I am struggling just to fucking get into gear and get out of the way. Holy fuck. This is absolutely fucking outrageous. Like, it's never been this bad. I'm unplugging my phone to hope that that fucking helps anything. Like, damn. Left got him. I want to get a bit closer to the right here. I feel like it's smoothed up a bit since I unplugged my phone. Oh, and of course, fucking reduce graphics. God damn it. Quit. Just fucking quit. We'd have been far closer to even if I didn't miss third, and if I didn't get that massive ass lag spike halfway down the fucking script. Shit. I know, because I built that R33, and I built that Pt500. So. And we were even until I missed third. On my end, from as you can see from the recording, we were as far as it's shown on our end, we were in lead until we missed third, and then that's where it went south. Okay, let's try doing this way then. someone hopped in his car and took control over it and screwed with whatever. I don't know why. It could possibly be device related. There's all kinds of different things that it could be. I don't know what in specific would cause it to do that. They're all over. AMG couldn't hold his lane. I don't think the Bugatti held its lane either. I think that's cross on both. I'm gonna jump in the GT500 and see if I can line up with Chuck. That was perfect. I took it. Because I'm rear-wheel drive. This is how you brake boost. Damn. Talk about lag. This is the worst drag area possible. Like, is it just me? Like, the road itself is perfect. God damn. The mischief is real. Like, damn. Drag event is definitely something we'll get going when we get our Discord server up. That I'm most likely going to start working on today, tomorrow. I say today, tomorrow because technically today, but I classify it tomorrow because I haven't went to sleep yet. It's 4:40 in the morning for me. And I classify my days by basically when I go to sleep and wake up. So, today technically, but I classify it tomorrow because when I go to sleep and wake up, today will be tomorrow. In my brain. That's how that works. I know, not very logical, but at the same time somewhat logical. Oh, no. No, I don't want to take any damage. I can't believe that. I want to test drive. Whoa! Like, as though I'm obligated to let you test my car? Like, who the fuck do you think you are that you have the right to drive my car? Like, you have zero relation to me. You're not on my friends list. I probably shouldn't have even added Perk, because I don't even know Perk at all. I added them because they seem chill. But do I know that? No, not at all. I don't know who they are. And if I don't see them on often, they'll very quickly end up removed from my friends list, because what's the point if I don't see them on, right? So that's how I manage my friends list. Aside from Perk, who just got added to my friends list, who isn't guaranteed to stay on my friends list. The only people on my friends list is Chucky, Nos, and Ghost. Have to go into overdrive because 5th gear's topping out. Just chilling overdrive. I hope nothing's wrong with 3-3. Odometer roll back. I've never had that happen before. I don't know how that works, but that's pretty neat that you got odometer rollback. I know, I could have just went from 4th straight over to 6th. In all honesty, I think it just genuinely happened, and because there isn't a way to roll back an odometer in this game. It's not a feature. It doesn't exist. There's no cheat to do that. I think it just happened to glitch, and that just is that. I honestly think that's what happened, is that it just happened to glitch. Because... Yo, I'm recording, damn it! Okay, well, YouTube, thank Chucky for that comment. Damn it. Oh, that's a... He's not. Guys, he's not wrong. Like, he's not. He really isn't. Like, you can't argue it. He's not wrong. Oh, this is so much better too, because we have the city garage here, so we can switch into the 69 whenever, our charger, our 1969 charger. I know, it's probably terrible for me to follow up Chucky's comment by saying we can switch into the 69, but... Damn it. Come into the proper drag strip. Get some good drags going. Oh, wait. Yeah, we don't really have the power to do a brake stand. Right about there, right? Bump. Brake. About half throttle. So for this, we're gonna go 4,500. Reduce clutch to about halfway, roughly. Get that bite point right there. Oh god. I hope that isn't a every time thing. Good pull for the quarter mile. So we have quarter mile and half mile here, right? This is going to be so much better in private servers when we finally have our Discord server up and running. We won't have to worry about the lag of other people. Okay, let's do left lane. Nope. I didn't want you to go into fourth, I wanted you to go into neutral. You don't listen when I tell you to do things. That was a good one. Fucking Jesus. Hey, like, how the fuck are we supposed to do any kind of drag racing if everywhere we go, you get a lag spike halfway fucking through? Like, what the fuck? Genuinely, how the fuck are we supposed to do any drag racing if you have to load in the other half of the drag strip halfway down? The devs didn't think about a single fucking thing when they were doing this. Yet going from the end back to the start, everything was fine. Like, they literally programmed this shit with their heads up their ass. It literally is going to be impossible for me to win any races because I get frozen for fucking 5 years. Was that the first time we met? I don't remember that. You expect too much of me. I can't remember that shit. It was a really good launch. Best launch I've had so far. Okay, now we didn't get any lag spikes until we hit here. Wow. So we can hit the quarter mile sometimes. Oh. Dad, y'all need to figure this shit the fuck out. Devs, y'all need to fix the map loading, and you need to add colorable DRLs. And you need to fix the fucking backfire, for fuck's sake. I sent in that complaint about a month ago, and you guys said you were gonna fix it, and you fucking didn't. Why is my McLaren P1 still backfiring, along with every other high-performance engine? Get the fuck on it. Slackers, put some back into it. Yep. People trying to scam, as usual. Well, let me just trade you this free Lexus that I got from the daily rewards for your one of one fucking GT500 full custom. Literally, nobody else has a GT500 with this proper paint job. That challenge is gonna kick my ass. What do I have to face that challenger? ZL1, but that's... It doesn't What do I have in my city garage? M4 maybe? M4 maybe? Supra maybe? Ooh, Supra maybe. Supra. I think our Supra's gonna be our best bet. Our Mark IV Supra. Yeah, our supercharged Super Z. Yeah, this GT500 is one of my very much beloved cars. One that everybody tries to get their hands on. And I can see why, but at the same time, have some respect for the owner. Like, I see nice cars all the fucking time, every day. I don't try to weasel the owner out of them just because I want it. Because that's fucked up. Like, have some respect for the person who built the shit. It's really not that much to ask. It isn't. I show that exact same respect to every other owner. I avoid criticism. I understand that to each their own. And I don't think that's a hard concept to understand. But somehow, 90% of the community will get absolutely pissed if you tell them no. And it's like, what right do you have to steal from me? None. You have no right to get mad at me for not selling you my car. It's my car. And everybody just fucking throws a temper tantrum, and it's like, okay, fucking be that way then. First gear, thank you. Yeah, everybody seeing this will get a really good idea of how to brake boost with manuals, because brake boosting is the only form of launching I'm going to be doing with my manuals. Launch control itself is essentially brake boosting, just automated. This is just non-automated. I actually like that too. Right? It's just fucked. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to do any kind of racing? Can't even get down the fucking drag strip. Okay, someone's clearly new to the game. Rally 2 is the race you get when you click on the flags and you click a car to invite. It's one of the race options. For anybody who doesn't know, it's literally built into the game system. That's how I know that they're a new player, is because it's literally built into the system. Anybody who's ever been challenged to a race will have seen the option for Rally 2. So if you don't know what Rally 2 is, very clearly, you've never been challenged to a race. Otherwise, you would know. Reopen this phone. It is just us racing right now, so we even could move to a private server if we wanted to. I should mention that. Thank you. I hate to leave it in this shitty graphic, but it's our best chance at having a clean run. I might fucking eat him alive. I better give him the hit. Because that Hellcat's gonna spin. It's gonna spin first and second. It'll grip third. I know, I built the car. I slip first, and I can slip second, depending on the circumstances, but... What's my power ratio? My power to torque is actually lower. Because he's 700. He's Hellcat. Like Hellcat. Like, I tuned that Hellcat to be Hellcat. Oh, and it's not gonna read. He probably switched into that from the garage. He's 700 horsepower. However, he's heavier too, so I think their power to weight ratios might actually equal out. But I think I got better traction. We didn't get a lag spike going down that that time, did we? Maybe keeping in low graphic is what we need to avoid getting these lag spikes. I do plan on building some proper drag cars very, very soon. I really want to have a proper drag car build set up. I can, yes, I genuinely can. I haven't yet, but I genuinely can. Well, I crossed at the finish. I don't know how that works. See, my Uncle Keith used to do drag racing, real world. He was Pro Street. He had an Oldsmobile 442. He raced at Castrol Raceway, so I used to go watch him race all the time, and I actually helped with the paintwork on the roll cage of that car. It was one hell of a car to be around, and a hell of a car to watch run. Last I had heard, before my Uncle Keith had sold it, is that car was running 9.6s in the quarter mile, which is fucking quick. But he eventually sold the car. He reached an age where his body couldn't really handle it anymore, so he ended up having to give up on drag racing, unfortunately. Oh? Not that I know of. I didn't know that. What's wrong with it? Ouch. That crack, that was my ankle. Yes, I am okay, I promise. But that crack was my ankle, if anybody heard it. Which was probably everybody. Yeah, I won a 7,000 horsepower RX-8 in a raffle. There was a guy selling it here in the city server at the city lot. He announced that he was going to be selling it. Everybody basically gathered around it, and he posted it for $1. And whoever got it, and I ended up getting it. I had zero attachment to it whatsoever, I literally just traded it for a 1500 or a 2500 gold car. I don't even remember what I traded it for. And that's the story of my 7,000 horsepower RX-8 I once had, that I had for less than 2 hours, because I got it and I immediately went to drive it back. I immediately went back in and was driving it back to the sales lot. And literally, I stepped on the accelerator, check engine light came on immediately, black smoke out the exhaust, and then it was like, okay, take it back to the garage, repair it, re-enter the server, be a bit more gentle, still same thing, okay. So I took it back to the garage again, repaired it again, and then went back in, and I literally kept as minimal throttle possible. I did 5 kilometers an hour the entire way down to the sales lot, and then sat at the sales lot and waited for trade offers. And I just advertised it as what it was: 7,000 horsepower RX-8 for trade, won it in a raffle. And anytime anybody asked about it, I simply said I've won it in a raffle. Because people would go, how'd you get that much power? I don't know. I didn't build it. I just won it in a raffle. That's interesting. I feel like revealing a spoiler for what I want to do for Drag Car. You guys saw the... you wouldn't have seen that in this video. The last CPM video, I went over how I got scammed with the Escalade, and I went through the daily rewards. The red Mustang at the end of the daily rewards for the second week, I plan on turning that into a drag build. That was, yes, that was on this main account. New cars. Let me reveal some of the things I intend to buy. Come on now. Thank you. GT86 maybe. Ooh, E39 M5 maybe. Very possible. Why does that look like it's got reworked logos? Because maybe it does, who knows. We do plan on getting a 1971 Challenger eventually. I'd like that. I'd like to get a C3 eventually. The C3 would most likely end up being drag build. Possible rally though. Possible police as well. It all depends. One of the three. I might get a lot of hate for this, but for anybody who remembers the S1 Quattro that I did for NOS, I personally would have preferred that they gave us the B2 Quattro instead of the S1 Quattro. I might get a lot of hate for that because I know everybody likes, or almost everybody likes, the S1 more. I didn't notice the turbo sounds increasing in volume. Da, 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 da. Ooh, we could do an M6 drag build. We could do a C216 drag build. I used to have a C216. I think I traded my C216 for something. I don't remember what though. Brabus 900, that's an option. The E63 Brabus 900. Or not E63, sorry, the S63 Brabus 900. F10 M5. That's one I've wanted to pick up for a while. E63 is one we did used to have. The M8 and the G82 M4 are both cars that we could end up with. I once had an RS7 and that was a wonderful car. I wouldn't mind having one of those again. Oh, it probably would. Well, why I say it probably would is because all of the other Dodge vehicles are gold or cash. I wouldn't know. F90 is one we're gonna be getting, most definitely, I just don't know when. The newer R8 is one we could get, but I'm not nearly as into because I like the old R8, which I have. Oh. The only YouTube videos I watch are my own and Bay Area Bugs. GTA 5 RP. Because he's fucking hilarious content creator. I greatly support Bugs. GT43/GT63. We will be getting one of those. And that will be... I'm not going to disclose. I don't want to spoil that.
Well, if it's in CPM1, it's an asset that's likely to be transferred over eventually.
992 GT3 RS is one that I wouldn't mind having. Just like the one we did for Chucky, the rally one we did for Chucky, I wouldn't mind having one of those. Except I would do it up as either a general street/track toy, police car, or a drag car. Well, state patrol, I should say. Y'all know I don't run police design, I run state patrol. The old NSX I would like. The new NSX is very, very possible to become a rally car. Veyron and Agira are two that I will most definitely be getting. I don't know when. .458 is one I would definitely like. The Chiron I don't mind, but I'm much more a Veyron guy. I would absolutely love if they added the EB110. The EB110 is by far my favorite Bugatti of all time. I love the way that car looks. I love the way it sounds. I think that is by far like the most perfect Bugatti ever to be built. The Jesco I'm not really into. The Zonda, I would like to have another Zonda. I had a Zonda in the past, that was nice. I wouldn't mind having a Carrera GT. And I've thought about the Formula 1 car. I wouldn't mind having one. But I'm a bit skeptical of, like, I'm not really a Formula guy. I would have one for the experience of having one, and then I would most likely trade it. Let's see. What other cars are there that we would be getting? The Explorer. I plan on getting an Explorer for State Patrol. The F100, I intend on getting an F100 back eventually. That would be nice. I used to have an F100, it was so smooth. I sold the truck long ago because I needed space, and that was before I had my second account for the Desert Garage. Durango, we are getting one very soon, in which we are doing up as a state patrol car for Chucky. I gave Chucky the option between the Durango and the Tahoe, and he chose the Durango, both of which are wonderful vehicles. G37, I wouldn't mind having another G37. Oh, I like the 3000 GT/GTOs. Yes, I owned a 1994 Dodge Caravan SE. It had the 3-liter 6G72 V6, which is the exact same engine that is in the Dodge Stealth um, RTTT. Yeah, Dodge Stealth RT twin turbo, Mitsubishi 3000 GT, and Mitsubishi GTO. They all ran the 6G72 V6 with twin turbos. However, that engine was also used in the Gallant platform, and it was also used in the 1994 Dodge Caravan. Except in the Gallant and the Caravan, they didn't run turbos. They were naturally aspirated. And in the 94 Caravan, they were only making... you'd be lucky to be hitting 200 horsepower. It was not... It was basically bare bones of the motor. But it sounded amazing. You could put that thing to the floor and let it hit limiter and just keep it there. Without any concern at all. I did that with a fucking blown head gasket too. Not even me, my mechanic did that. My mechanic fired it up and just fucking put it to the floor with a blown head gasket. And I'm just like, are you sure we should be doing this? And he's like, it's fine. And it was. I had an Evo 10 in here, not in real world. Real world, the only thing I've owned myself is a 94 Caravan, which I ended up selling that van. It had a busted passenger side window, passenger rear side window, and basically the whole rear subframe was rusted to shit. And because it was a 94 here in Alberta, I would have had to have had it pass a safety inspection, and it was not going to pass a safety inspection, like, at all. So I ended up just biting the bullet and selling it. I only lost about $350 on that van, which isn't that bad at all. Normally when you take a loss on a vehicle, you lose a hell of a lot more than that. So yeah, that was my 94 Caravan. It was dark green. It was a very, very, very nice van. I wish I could have kept it, but it just wasn't practical. It would have cost a lot more to fix than it was worth. So currently, within the next year, I'll be buying a 3rd generation Mazda 5 with the 6-speed manual. And that will be my new vehicle. And then after that, I will be buying a 1st generation RX-8 6-speed manual with the 6-port. So those are the 2 vehicles I'll be getting. I'll get the RX-8 within the next 5 years for sure. Probably within the next 2. Back to in-game cars. I might get
an S600 again. I used to have an S600 and it was a wonderful car. I feel like I'm almost out of vape juice because I am getting really low. That's why I feel like I'm almost out of vape juice, because I'm getting really low. Which means I am almost out of vape juice. Which isn't really good because I don't get paid for another 10 days or so. If I'm conservative, I might be able to make it last, but if I run out, I run out. It is what it is. Golf 7 is one we intend on picking up. The 190Z is one we intend on picking up. Still thinking about a C63 and an AMG GTR. TTRS is one we are going to be picking up. E92 maybe. We already picked up an E46, I just haven't shown it off yet. That's in our desert garage. Let's see. RS4 is one I intend on picking up. Porsche Panamera is one I intend on picking up. New NSX, most definitely. Let's see. Old NSX is very much possible. I've eyed it out a few times. Yeah, and then we end up just recycling back to the list. So there's a decent amount of vehicles that we intend on going through. And of course, we already have all of the vehicles we have. We could probably take some of what we have and rework some of what we already have, so trying to think of one that we already are in possession of that we could retune for drag. Say our Impreza, we have the newer Impreza. For anybody who doesn't know that, I took the Impreza. Since we now have a 993 that's running the 9A19 or whatever it is. Since we have the 993 running the Porsche engine, I pulled the Porsche engine from my Subaru and I put the FA20 back in and gave it some light tune work. I still have to go over that and see if it's sufficient or not. It might end up getting traded off if it isn't. If it isn't sufficient, then I'll get an older Subaru and run the EJ207. I personally actually like the EJ more, and I personally actually like the older Subarus more. The reason why we have the newer Subaru instead of the older Subaru is at the time that we got that Subaru, we still had the 1500 gold rule, where I wasn't taking in any cars that were under 1500 gold. I have since abandoned said rule because there are too many vehicles that are below 1500 gold that I really, really enjoy, such as my Fiat 500, which is only a 700 gold vehicle. And I really love that car. I wouldn't want to sell it at all. I actually have to go over that car because the carbon fiber hood on it I didn't do properly because of lack of attention to detail. Normally, I don't have lack of attention to detail, but it was something I noticed way later on, and it caught me off guard, and I still haven't gone and fixed it yet. It's one of those things where I know it needs to be done, but I don't have the desire to get it done. It's the same deal with my CLS. Needs badging, but I don't have the patience, or I haven't had the patience yet. I have the patience. It's just a matter of when do I have the patience? And the answer is not right now. And the answer will be not right now for a while. Just like the R33 I just did for Chucky, that red R33. It's got badging on it and everything, and it looks beautiful. And then if you look at my R33, it doesn't have any of the badging on it. Because I don't feel like it. That's the life of a tuner. You tune everybody else's stuff, and you enjoy tuning stuff. Seems legit. I enjoy tuning stuff for everyone else and all that, but then I do so much of that that I often don't get around to tuning my own stuff. And then the thing is, if I had to pick between tuning my stuff and tuning someone else's stuff, I'd rather tune someone else's. Because, well, my stuff, I'm satisfied with it being half-assed. Other people's stuff, they're probably not satisfied with it being half-assed. However, there's much more pride in working on someone else's car and seeing that other person drive your work around than there is in working on your own car and driving your own car around. Because, put it this way, I can work on 5 of my cars, but you'll only see one at a time. But if I work on 5 of other people's cars, you could see all 5 of those cars all at one time, because it's 5 other cars for 5 other people. So all 5 of those other people could end up being all in the same server with you, and then you're looking at 5 beautiful art pieces instead of only being able to drive one of your art pieces. Like this Supra. Absolutely beautiful. But if I were to have done this Supra for someone else, and then Chucky were to pull up in the R33, you'd see this Supra in R33, and then whatever else I were to bring in. And then you'd be staring at a group of art pieces instead of just a singular art piece. And that just makes everything a lot more satisfying. So, it's always nicer to work on someone else's stuff because you know that you can get to see it riding around. Whereas your own stuff, you only get to see it riding around when you're driving it. So, yeah. You have some hella good patience, Perk. Hella good patience. You could say the same for me, though. I've been sitting here longer than Perk has. I'm just chilling and chatting. I don't mind. I have time. I'll admit I'm starting to get a little bit tired because it's almost 6 in the morning, but that means we've been going for at least 2 hours now. Which I'm okay with. We'll do some polls. If I'd stepped on the brake a little sooner, we'd have been able to. Unless he's talking about my top speed crossing line, in which I still don't know. Brake, reduce momentum. There we go. I had to prevent my other device from going to sleep. He's in right lane. Got that Dodge Diplomat out. There. No, come on. Nope. God damn it. There it is. Yeah, he's looping back. Okay. We'll wait for him to line up.
is at. Won't go into third. I know when to give up when it's like that. And if it doesn't go in on the second or third attempt, there's no recovering from it. Not in a drag race. Normally by the second attempt, it's already toast, so... If not already by the first, but... Stupid shit. Nothing I can do about it. Okay, thanks for not going into fifth. Constant bullshit, never ends. I wanted you to go into fourth, but you drop into second, wow. Just fucking shift into whatever gear you feel like, huh? I didn't know he was gonna honk. Almost crossed. I technically jumped. I didn't know he was honking though. We'll wait for him to do the honk countdown this time. I also don't want to drop my clutch too far, but I don't want to drop it too little that I'm not biting. I didn't think he would stall for me dropping clutch at 4 kilometers an hour. I was expecting to honk and then he takes it. Almost playing tag. It can be difficult to stay straight when the steering is hypersensitive as it is.
There it is. Okay. That was a good brake boost. I think I'm gonna switch to the 69 Charger. I don't want to go on for too long here. My bad, my other device was starting to fall asleep and I didn't want it to. Didn't want it to. It's important that it doesn't. Doing opposite lanes traffic. Because why not do illegal things when there's the availability for illegal things? Ooh, locking them up. I dropped the clutch really roughly there. That needs to be refined. Oh, that's right, super soft. I didn't open the emoji button though. I went to clutch in and downshift as I got the lag spike, and so the game recognized my finger swiping up
as just the tap at the top of the screen on the emoji button. Just because of the lag spike happens sometimes. Oh, that's like perfect bump. Sorry, perfect stage. $192. I like the idle on this. It's got that mean chop to it. What is going on in here? Everyone's asking for money. Oh, I want free handouts here. I want free handouts there. Why don't you try earning shit? By the way, I should mention this. I do intend on giving out rewards and doing events in the Discord server I make for CPM and that. I might not be able to give out rewards everywhere, like, for instance, there's nothing I can do rewards wise for RTHD or MWT. Like, the most reward I could do is offering VIP spot to game with me, right? Like, those places, there's nothing I can do to give a reward to another player. So, I have limitations. Here, though, there are certain things. There's many things I can do. I can do cash reward. I can do vehicle reward. I can do tuning reward. So like, cash reward, vehicle reward is obvious. Tuning reward, I can take in a vehicle that person wants tuned and tune the vehicle and return it to them. So, there are things I can do here in CPM for rewards that I can't do in other places. I'm trying to think of what other places might have it. You went and got a Miata. Okay. Is that Miata going to kick my ass? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a Miata. For a second, I was about to attempt to shift into fifth, which would have been bad because we don't have a fifth. We have a reverse. We don't have a fifth. I thought that might be him. I wasn't sure if he was gonna honk or not. He's gonna pull on me. I didn't think he was talking about me. I'm just like, not sure that's directed to me or not, because that doesn't make sense. That was actually a decent run, but I felt like he was sleeping. Felt like he was sandbagging me. Calling people out in chat. That's great. Great to watch the fucking beef in the chat. Fucking damn near all of you riding on D. I'm the only one out here rocks manual. One of the few. Everybody else rides auto. Y'all be riding on D all day. Don't it suck to be an auto user? Riding on D all day. I ride on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All you auto users riding on D. That's the facts though. All you auto users riding on D all day long. I have autos, yeah. Just not many. I have far more manuals than I do autos.
Goddamn, y'all talking in with some fucking foreign language, because I can't even understand what the fuck y'all are saying. What? Okay. Stunt guy. Really? You gonna go... Stunt guy, you were trying so hard that you spelled trying wrong. Like, that's how quickly you were typing that you were trying to win this battle so badly that you spelt trying as vying. You're the one who needs to shut the fuck up. Like, look at the chat. How much has Perk said compared to how much have these two fuckers? Like, come on now. Who's trying here? Let's be realistic. Who's trying? Because they're speaking a hell of a lot more. I'd say that Perk isn't trying anything. He's laid back far more than they are. He might be being a little bit disrespectful. But you know what? So is basically everyone else in this server, so can you blame him? Not really. And when you look at who's talking shit more, Perk is definitely on the lesser end of shit talk than the other guys are, so I find it funny when people throw out self-contradictions like that. Oh, stop trying when they're clearly the ones who are trying. Then we got an imposter Andrew Tate in here. See, people like Peter Bryan would benefit out of the Discord server that I'm going to be making. Which I should mention, I am open to collaboration with administration of the Discord server when I get it open, if anybody is interested in reaching out to me for that. But note that I take administration of Discord servers extremely seriously. It is a community. Even if it's just a fresh starting community, it doesn't matter. It's still a community. And it needs to be respected, and it needs to be a well-cared-for space. And I don't give a fuck who you are. If you want to be in that space, you're going to have to respect it. And if you don't, I will fucking handle you myself, and you will lose access to that space. So, that's how I run my servers, and that's how my server will be run. I don't care if I'm the only one who has to run it. I will make sure that it is a well-cared-for space. Because nothing less of that is acceptable. Not for me. And it's my server, so what I say goes. There's no need for all the fucking disrespect that goes around in the CPM community. Or, for that matter, any other online community. There is no need for the amount of disrespect and bullshit that goes around. I see it all the fucking time, and it's disappointing. And quite frankly, it's sickening and disgusting to see, because there's no need for it. You don't have to be a dickhead. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Right? You don't have to go around ruining other people's shit. You'd be surprised how many people actually end up with severe stress and trauma just from online communities. just because they're harassed and abused the entire fucking time and nobody respects them. And I don't tolerate that kind of shit because it's not acceptable and there's no reason for it. And the reality is, if you were on the receiving end, the chances are 99.5% that you would be bitching and whining about it if you were on the receiving end of it. So don't be dishing it out. And that's exactly the facts of the matter. Consider how it would feel if you were on the receiving end of whatever you're dishing out. Pushing way into overtime here. What's our battery percentage? Our battery percentage is decent. My bad. Just unlocking my other device. Alright, let's bring out an auto. Unless I get one of my other cars to attract my eye. One of my other manuals to attract my eye. The first thing that's popping into my head to bring out right now is the C8 Corvette, which I know is an auto. Which I know I have it set up as an auto. Some people might have it set up for manual. Whoops. There is the RX-7. I feel like bringing out the CD8. Zangyutsu, totally someone who definitely doesn't want to use it. Totally doesn't want to.
totally not. Now, the way I have this set up is launch control you are about to learn. It's the same as brake boosting with a manual, except no clutch. And 100% full throttle lock. Full brake, and you have to go full gas. Because if you don't, it doesn't lock. That's how I inch up with autos. I just bump and drive. I did it again. Full brake, full accelerator. Okay, so you can't see it, you don't see the time there. It grips first, and then spins second, and then grips third. I let off early, but that's okay. Tried to back out of it in time, but I didn't. I thought we were going to have enough braking force to be able to make that turn, but apparently not. And now we need to repair. Is there a repair out here? I think I have to go to the shop. See? Spins second, grips first and third. Isn't that interesting? Grips first, spins second, and then grips third. I find that so interesting. The way I have the gearing dialed in and the launch control. It spins first, grips second, and spins third. Whoops. Now, I've been told that the brakes on this are soft, and I know they are a bit soft, but the thing is, like, the front is already trying to lock when we're braking and turning at the same time. So if I do stiffen them, which I'm probably going to anyways, I run risk of locking the front tires when turning and braking hard, which can lead to drastic understeer. So now, that's the automatic launch control system, the automated launch control. The actual launch control system only works for automatics. So, I will now show you the non-automatic launch control system. And that's handbrake. No foot brake needed for this. Handbrake, put in your desired gear in manual, or you can do it in drive. But if you're in drive, you might as well use the automated system. Now, this is a really good system for things like me and Chucky's Hellcat, where the launch control in drive ends up just spinning anyways, because the car just has that much power that even with launch control dialed in at minimal RPM, it still just spins. You can put it in second or third. Handbrake, 5,000 RPM. Well, I only meant to shift once, but that lag spike ended up making me double tap because I wasn't sure if it shifted or not, and I thought it just missed the shift, so I tapped again. But it didn't miss a shift, it just froze for a moment because of the lag spike. But that's how you do launch control outside of the automated system. With this, it's good in second. Most of the time, with most 7 and 8 speed cars, second gear is ideal, second or third, but often second gear is ideal. Often a few thousand RPM short of redline is ideal as well. And you can experiment by launching at different RPMs. So there's many ways you can launch control. And you can do this with manual too. You can simply drop clutch instead of brake boosting like I do, where I hold gas and brake and reduce clutch to bite point, and I brake boost. What I could do is, instead of holding brake and holding clutch at bite point, I could just hold full clutch and then rev to my desired RPM like I am doing here, and then just drop the clutch instead of dropping the parking brake. And you can use this exact same method with manual by just dropping the clutch instead of dropping the park brake. Let's do a 6,000 RPM launch this time. Been trying to downshift while braking, but it's difficult when my thumb is in the way. That's another thing. Say you're not too good at shifting manually, per se. You can do this. You can launch control. We'll do 6,000 again. And then you can just put it over into drive. And then you don't have to worry about it. So you can use the manual mode for launch control, and then just drop back into drive. So, there's many ways you can do it. You would have to have something really good. Yeah. By the way, for anybody who doesn't know, that is considered a scam offer. Offering something that is drastically less valued than the other person's car is considered an attempted scam. You are literally attempting to rip that person off of a vehicle
of higher value for a lesser value price. And that is a scam, yes. It is an attempted scam. I'm pretty sure I can hear the tires. We're gonna grab an RX-7. So I want to switch back to manual, and my desires for manual right now is get them into focus and the RX-7. So we'll go for the RX-7. They did leave. We've been chilling here on our own. No, he's not. Perk isn't even in here anymore. I still have to give that Bentley back to Nos. I didn't Thank you. Still have a drag strip. Ooh, that was almost perfect. There we go.
y'all saw it was going into third, and the lag spike pulled it out. You could see it light up third, and it would have dropped in, and the lag spike said, "Fuck you." So disappointing. Damn it! I did click the button before it hit the wall, but it didn't click the first time. Fucking bullshit. That's okay, we're not going to be on for 2 months longer. We're starting to get me set up, and I'm starting to get quite tired. And I do still have dishes I have to wash. Only 2, but still, 2 dishes that I do need to wash before I go to bed. But it's only 2, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, fuck. I gotta return my coffee. God, the lag is fucking terrible. Like, there's nobody else out here either. Like, come on. I don't get that. Everybody turns your time to use me. When the fuck are you the boss of everybody here? Like, shut the fuck up. You have no right to boss anybody around. Acting all high and mighty like you fucking own the game or some shit. Like you own us. Like, this isn't 1876, motherfucker. You don't own fucking anybody. God, I'm so thrown off right now. I'm so tired that I'm starting to miss my phone. Having delayed reaction times, missing my phone. Oh my god. This is getting absurd. Like, really absurd. Our phone's at 35. Jackie, you better get here soon. It's not gonna be on for too much longer. Just a little over. Just a little far back now. There it is. Lucky it actually landed into third that time. We crossed, but there's only so much you can do when the lag fucks you up. And then by the time it does, you don't really care. Green truck driver is mentally fucker a bitch. I think you're the kid here, Jay. Because I don't know any adult that would speak like that. the one you spelled mentally wrong. Who you don't know, don't know. Read the context is just fucking terrible. Green Shark was pinkish. It was his father Matt. Again, I think you're the kid here out of fucking everybody because no adult would speak that way. Not even a mature child would speak that way. Like, it's really sad to see just how much disrespect goes around from kids calling other people kids as though they're a fucking adult and acting all high and mighty, and it's like, who the fuck do you think you are? You guys act like you're the ones who own the game, and then you try and play the victim card and pin to somebody else, claiming that somebody else thinks they own the game. When realistically, you are the one who thinks you own the game. You're saying that, oh, someone else thinks they own the game as though you're the real owner. Like, pull your head out of your ass, buddy. It's honestly mind-boggling. Just literal children. Absolute children. This is the kind of shit you see in here every day. Every day. Because I don't think that the CPM developer team actually has any admins who go around in the public servers anymore. Because if they did, I don't think we'd be seeing this kind of shit. I myself wouldn't mind being an admin going around just fucking setting people straight. Giving account suspensions and bans to people like this who just sit here and shit talk and harass others and violate community guidelines. %90 of the time, most of the people in public servers just fucking sit and bully and harass other people and think that that's fun and that they're a better, higher being than everybody else for some reason, when the reality is we're all just fucking humans. Like, buddy, we're all just cogs in the big system. I don't give a fuck what color, shape, or size your cog is, you're still just another fucking cog in the system. That's the reality of it. We're all just cogs in the system. And we all tend to have this tendency that we think that we're the biggest cog in the system, that we're the big gear that keeps all the other little gears turning. But the reality is, each and every single one of us is just as small of a gear as the other. I'm no exception to that either. I'm just another cog in the system. Just of a different shape, color, and size. Doesn't mean jack shit. My brake boosting did bump me forwards a bit. God damn your legs, folks. This might even end up being a 4-hour video. Probably gonna end up being somewhere around there or something. You like anal? That's fucked up. Just my opinion. I'm gonna need something more nippy to keep up with the McLaren and Jesco. So let's see what we have on our Civic Drive available. We might end up just going back into the C8. Yes, airborne and on brakes, so our tires locked up because we have no ABS. For the second there was no resistance, the tires locked. Let's keep up the engine. For instance, the movie Tangled. I've seen the movie Tangled more times than I can count, but I can't fully remember the events. I just remember Rapunzel let down her hair, and Mother Knows Best, and then the dude saves her, and whatever. And then I remember and putting them in the water. I don't fully remember. Wow, just go straight to being racist. Why not? Player ID for that one. Player ID for that one. Player ID for that one. Who else was a part of this? I think it's those three. Don't worry, this video is one of the ones I'll definitely submit to the developers because that kind of crap has no place here at all. There's no need for it. It's 100% unnecessary, 100% uncalled for, And it 100% is in violation of community guidelines and shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be anywhere. There's no need. Like I said, imagine how you would feel on the receiving end of what you're dishing out. Because I guarantee you, these guys would lose their shit if they were on the receiving end of the exact shit that they're dishing out. But then when they dish it out, they think that everything is okay. Because they think that they're better than everybody else. Why? I don't know. If you ask me, I think there is something mentally wrong with them. I think they should probably consult with a therapist. One of the pros of memory loss is you don't really hold grudges very much because you can't even remember what the grudge is. One of the cons, I have to double check absolutely everything. One of the pros of that, I'm always making sure that I'm giving out correct information and that I'm doing things correctly, because I'm always having to back check to make sure I'm not doing them wrong. Informationally speaking, I'm always speaking based off of facts or what I know to be true, and if I don't know it to be fact, I state that. And I state that it's what I know to be true and not necessarily fact. Because I don't know, right? So I have to back check and make sure that it's 100% factual and right, or I have to iterate that I'm not 100% sure. Come on. See, devs, how are we supposed to race here if we lag literally 90% of the race? CPM2J, you think a lot of things, and a lot of the things you think are fucked up. I'm not a specialist, but I don't think Tipo is American. I'm pretty sure Tipo is Italian. And the reason why I say that is because of the Maserati Tipo 61 birdcage, I believe it is. The Maserati Tipo birdcage. For anybody who knows what I'm talking about, that is a very specific car Maserati made long time ago. Long time ago. It was very similar to, I think, old Formula cars. very similar. Twice as missed second. That was good shit. I hope those people get banned and are never seen again. Because it's just disgusting to see that kind of talk go on and on and on in a public server. Do you know what the age requirement is for playing online? 13. You are supposed to be 13 years or older to play online. Do you think this is the kind of conversations a 13-year-old kid should be a part of? Because this is a public server that any 13-year-old kid could join into at any moment. And they'd be listening to this kind of conversation. Now, imagine that you had a 13-year-old kid. How would you feel if that's the conversation that your 13-year-old kid would be having? You probably wouldn't be too thrilled. We'll leave the graphics as they are for this run. I could refine the carbon on this a little bit further too. It's just a little large in scale, just ever so lightly. Yeah, again, devs, please, factory engines do not backfire. The engine should only backfire if you add exhaust downpipe and exhaust header. That is how your system has always run for years. I don't know why a few months ago you guys changed it. I think it was 3 or 4 months ago or something like that. You guys changed it. And now performance engines like the engine for the MC20, the engine for the R35, the VR38, the 1-to-1 engine, the McLaren P1 engine, the engine that comes in the McLaren Senna, all of them backfire from factory in-game. Now, CPM dev team, Olshas dev team, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. In most countries, it is illegal for the car to backfire, which is why manufacturers will not produce cars that backfire from factory. So, Koenigsegg, Porsche, Bugatti, all of them, they don't backfire from factory because it would make their car illegal to sell in many places. So please fix that. Cars shouldn't be backfiring from factory. They should only be backfiring with aftermarket exhaust systems. Please fix that. Another thing, DRLs are daytime running lights. One thing I'm seeing right here currently is that my daytime running lights aren't on while my friend Chucky is driving my car.
which that is definitely a bug that needs to be fixed, because so long as the engine is on, my daytime running lights should be on. To that, it would be very, very nice. This is a request that Chucky actually brought up himself to me, which I very much agree upon, and I think many other players will agree upon. It would be very nice if we could change the color of our DRL headlights, our daytime running lights. That would be very, very cool. One of the other bugs I want to mention, the it's the server. I think he left before he could read that. The JZX90, the Toyota Mark II Grande JZX90. I had one. I actually had to sell it recently in order to make up for being scammed on the Escalade. The JZX90 has a taillight bug. If you grab the JZX90 and you switch daytime to night and you hit the brakes, I believe the back right brake light glows brighter than the back left brake light, and it's super noticeable at nighttime, and it looks really bad. Please fix that, because I probably will end up with another JZX90 eventually down the road. I really like the JZX90 because I am a swordsman. I like samurai, and the JZX90 was given the nickname Samurai because the taillights are resemblant of a katana, which is my favorite blade. So I very much do intend to get another JZX90, and it would very much be appreciated if the JZX90 were to be fixed by the time that I do get around to getting a new one. My biggest thing that I would like fixed is the backfire, because that's the biggest reason why I don't drive my McLaren P1 and my McLaren Senna. My McLaren Senna I actually worked very hard for. I grinded that out. I am the original owner of. My McLaren P1 I worked hard for, you could say. I traded a GT3 BMW M8 for my McLaren P1. It was a one-of-one GT3 M8. Very, very unique build. And I do intend to build one again, eventually. But I did work very hard to build that car, and that is the car that I traded for my McLaren P1. So, you could say I worked very hard for the both of them. Also, another thing that would be really, really nice is headlight and taillight tinting. We have window tint, but we don't have headlight and taillight tint. I think that would be really cool. What actually sparks that idea is when you guys first reworked this M4. You actually reworked this M4 twice. I remember it vividly. The first time you reworked it, you did the headlights like this, but then you also did the taillights tinted to match the headlights. They weren't necessarily tinted, but they were almost like they had a clear tint with a black background. They weren't fully red like this. They were darker, and it looked really nice, which is what brings up the idea of tinted headlights and taillights. That would be really, really cool. Colorable signal lights would be cool as well, to be able to change the color of hazards and signals. That would be cool, because I would definitely... I don't remember our hazards flashing that quickly on this either. But I do think it's cool that they do flash that quickly, because most of them don't. But yeah, the colorable lights and the tintable lights would be really cool. Let's grab something with active arrow and get Chucky to drive it. So, active arrow spoilers, devs, I don't know the extent of whether or not this is still a thing, but it used to be where active arrow worked for you, but only for you and not for anybody else. So it would be nice if active arrow were to function while someone else was driving your car, and if we were able to see active arrow on other people's cars. So for instance, if Chucky were to come in with a car with active arrow, and his active arrow spoiler goes up on his screen, it should also go up on my screen. Except, from what I know, at least I haven't confirmed this in recent moments, but from what I know currently, that does not happen. The active arrow is one-sided. It will rise and close on your screen, but not on other people's. So it would be cool if we could get active arrow synced up. That way, when the active arrow goes up for me, it goes up for everybody else. Because isn't that the whole point of having the active arrow? Is so that you can see the active arrow go up, you know? That Bentley isn't mine. We'll use one of our McLarens. We'll use the 720, because the 720 is the only one that doesn't backfire out of my McLarens. See? I need to scale down my carbon to be like this. Because I have my carbon like this on... Is it scaled down like that on this? It's really close too. I think it is. Same here, really close too. It still needs to be refined. What do you mean Godzilla has no wings? All of our... Unless you're talking about the 3.4, the 3.4 might not. But I feel like 3.4 does have spoiler options. Those angles sideways to minimize bumper scraping, right? I already turned the siren off, thank you very much. Also, the siren police lights, the ones on top, don't have good glowing animation. In fact, I think it would be more beneficial to take the glowing animation away
and just have the lights themselves light up like the ones on the interior are doing. Because the ones on the interior don't have glow, they just light up, right? And I think that looks really nice. I think it looks better than the low quality glow. I would highly recommend that they light up the light bar rather than just do the low quality glow. I understand that that light bar system is old and that low quality glow system is old, which is one of the reasons why I'm suggesting to update it. Another thing that would be cool is changeable light patterns. Just as in real world, you would be able to change your light pattern. So I think that would be cool. I do understand that the devs have gotten around to. I think it would greatly improve the quality of police vehicles, which, when you look at this, even just the way it is, it's an absolutely fabulous police vehicle to look at. But it could be so much more fabulous if it would have the right features. So, I do understand everything takes time, and that development changes don't happen overnight. I get that. But I think the lag part and the backfire part are the two most important things that need to be fixed. And it would be nice to see things, assets from CPM1 get transferred over to CPM2. I don't know what assets you have over there, aside from the 3000 TP that Chucky just told us about earlier. But it would be nice to see some of those assets. Another thing that would be nice, in our siren menu, we select one siren, but what would be nice would be to have the ability to select 3 sirens to cycle through, as most police units have 3 siren modes or more. And so it would be nice to have that incorporation to give a bit of immersion on the police vehicles. I'm getting really tired. think of we're gonna go back to main menu and create a private server. That way Chucky can join, and hopefully it can reduce our poor frame rate. Sorry, improve our poor frame rate. We'll grab our Hellcat. Create a private server unless Chucky's already in a server. Chucky is. Another thing, instead of getting room is full when trying to join someone, we should have a joining queue, so that when I click, it should say entering queue, and then once an available spot is open, it enters you into the server. That would be a much more logical solution than having it come back with the room is full response. It would be much more logical to have a queue. Ha! Ha! We had the exact same thought. His Hellcat and my Hellcat mechanically are the exact same. Mine's purple, his is red. That's the difference. I tuned them to be the exact same. Now, that's what happens if you use launch control in this. And this is the power ratio. It's a literal Hellcat. This is not requiring coding in a front window. I bet you Chucky probably forgot that I'm recording. If Chucky even noticed that I was recording. Ask away. I like almost all Hondas. I would take a Honda Odyssey over any other Honda. And second to that, I would take an EG6 Honda Civic. Let's do the prop handbrake launch control. Another thing, notice how I had to press the plus button there to get the back button for the profile. It popped up that time and the other time afterwards, but to get it to pop up the first time, you have to press the plus, you have to open the shop menu. I genuinely would really like to be a part of administration or development or moderation for CPM. One, I have very, very good ideas for improvement. Two, I have very good attention to detail. Really good with this community itself. This community itself, I'm very well aware of the player base because I've been in this community for over 5 years. Over 5 years. There are people who are going to say, oh, well, CPM1 hasn't been out that long. CPM1 isn't the original CPM1, so you can take that idea and toss it right out your window. CPM1 was not originally labeled CPM1. CPM1 was originally labeled Car Parking Multiplayer. The end. That's it. That's all. And it was basically a small town with a highway, and that was it. Nothing else. It was very barren when it first was released. I remember when vinyls were released. Did you guys know that? Vinyls weren't always a part of this game. Did you know that? Vinyls? That never used to be a thing when this game first came out. All of you who think you know the original CPM, you don't. You don't even know anything close to what the original CPM was. Vinyls never used to exist. Your car used to be strictly one solid color, and there would be nothing you could do about it. Yeah, I'm dead-ass serious right now. Vinyls did not exist when car parking was first released. That's how long I've played this game for. A lot of you don't even know that. And do you know that when this game was first released, we had a Lamborghini Aventador? A lot of you don't know that. Pretty sure we had a Huracan too. Like, I am probably the oldest player to still be playing the game. Uh, Properties. There never used to be buyable properties. There never used to be modeled interiors. We used to have a tiny little circuit track. It was like a karting track. It was literally W shaped. Literally, it was a W. The people who know that racetrack, those are the old players. The airport we have now, that's our third airport. The third one, not the first. The first airport, almost nobody even knows about. It's insane how much this game has come to grow from when I first started playing it. Because I was within one of the first 100 players ever to play the game. That's how old I am. That my original player ID was 27. And that was so long ago. I was 15 or 16 when I first started playing car parking multiplayer. I am 22 now. That's how long I've been playing. Which is probably one of the reasons why it would be really advantageous for me to be part of the development community of CPM, is because I know this game's entire history, start to finish. I've watched this game since its birth. And yet, still, I get people who come around to me and treat me like I'm a newbie, like I don't know anything, and they think they know everything. Because that's just how people are. They're children. It just is what it is. However, that kind of arrogance shouldn't be present. And oftentimes, the amount of disrespect and harassment that comes with that arrogance is pitifully horrible. Not even going to reply to that. What makes you think just because I have one car that I have another, sitting on the side waiting for you? Like, you guys need to stop asking for handouts. Because you're expecting me to have something sitting around for you. Why? Do you have something sitting around for me? No, you don't. So, why would I have something sitting around for you? Are you telling me you've got a stockpile of cars you keep on hand for strangers who are looking for them? I highly doubt that. Okay, we're gonna do this poll. We're gonna do drive. That's how you launch control something that spins the launch control. There's all kinds of methods to launch control, just gotta know which one to use for what. Ooh, did we just shift below 3,000 RPM? Did we just upshift below 3,000 RPM? We did. That's awesome. That's the first time I've ever seen it upshift below 3,000 RPM. That's absolutely wonderful to see. So we're gonna drive back to the desert garage and we're gonna wrap up there because we've been going for way, way longer than I intended. And I do need some sleep. It's been an interesting turn of events. I've enjoyed our time here tonight very much, actually. Even though things haven't gone exactly as planned. Oh, signal lights. It would be nice if we could turn off the auto-canceling signals, because something I've found is, for instance, if I put on my signal and I turn all the way to the left, I still haven't stopped turning to the left, but it's already deactivated. So, that entire time I did not pull out of the turn at all. I didn't stop turning left. I held the exact angle of left that I started with. So, I find in some situations the auto-canceling signals actually cancel a little early, and then it almost looks like you didn't use your signal. So it would be nice if we could have a toggle switch in our menu, our settings menu, under our car or controls or something, or under general or somewhere, to have a toggle to turn off the auto-canceling signals. That would be very convenient. My car for free, or for far less than what it's worth. Let that load in. The loading issue is hit or miss. The thing with the loading issue is I get why it's there, because loading in all of the map, like the entire map, City 1, City 2, Desert, Mountains, Racetrack, Italy, Japan, Mountains, and Tropics. I understand that having all of those load in and just loading in the entire map in one would cause a lot of strain and stress on the game. So I understand why it's broken into pieces. But at the same time, it being broken to pieces causes its own problem because you're always having to load into new areas, which interferes with the gameplay experience. So I'm not sure how you would go about working around that, but it would be nice if there were some kind of solution for that, to where it preloads all of the map in, but not fully, if you know what I mean. Where it preemptively loads the assets